division at Cordele Motor Speedway. Well, since we were here last, some big news dropped in the world of short track racing, particularly involving this speedway and an event that has not taken place in quite some time. Coming up on October the 25th and 26th, it'll be the return of the World Crown 300. It'll be the 32nd edition of this event, and it'll be the first time that it takes place at Cordele Motor Speedway. It'll be a part of the UARA National Tour, and the track officials and race officials, they confirmed and said that this race is going to pay $35,000 to win, one of the biggest prizes in all of super late model racing. So make plans to join us October 25th and 26th. That's Friday and Saturday night. We'll have practice going on Friday night, and we're expecting a huge field of super late models that are going to compete for $35,000 to win $2,500 just to start the event. And for some tracks around the country, $2,500 is more than what a regular Saturday night feature in a super late model would pay. That's what it's going to pay just to start the event. You're going to check out CordeleMotorspeedway.com and the Cordele Motor Speedway Facebook page for more news on that event. Again, that's coming up October the 25th and 26th. And for the folks that are checking us out here maybe for the first time, we are getting ready to start our summer break. This will be the last race for the next, about the next month or so. August the 10th will be the next time that Cordele Motor Speedway is in action, and it will be with the Southern Super Series for a 125-lap feature as part of the 12th annual Georgia Summer Nationals. That'll be coming up again on August the 10th. So again, 21 pro late models signed in. Still got about 7 or 8 cars still have to make their way through pre-qualifying tech as drivers are beginning to make their way down towards their cars. This would be a good opportunity if you're here in the grandstands. If you haven't got yourself something to eat or something to drink, go ahead and do that now. Get your 50-50 ticket purchased. Kids can get registered for the Boys and Girls Scooter giveaway that we're going to be doing tonight, courtesy of the Johnson Racing Team, number 35, in the Pure Stock Division. They've been helping us out all season long, raffling off some bikes for the boys and girls of our great fans here at Cordele Motor Speedway. But tonight, going to switch it up, give away a couple of scooters. You can go get registered for that as well. And most importantly, we appreciate all the race fans here at the racetrack that have battled the weather with us here. It is a hot and steamy one down here in South Central Georgia. That's why we're going to be taking the month off next month. It's getting too hot and humid down there, but we appreciate everybody battling the heat because they want to check out some great racing action with a Pro Late Model 100. And of course, all of our great fans that are watching and tuning in live on RacingAmerica.tv right now. As drivers are starting to get strapped into their cars, we'll introduce you to the 21 cars that'll be ready to take the green here in just a moment. Take this time to thank our sponsors and supporters of Cordele Motor Speedway. Of course, our friends at Sunoco Race Fuels, American Racer Tires, the official tire of Cordele Motor Speedway, Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts, Wheelin', of course, all the lights around the Speedway beautifully illuminated, of course, by our Wheelin' lights, and our friends at the Byron Outdoor Superstore, official provider of our Can-Am Pace vehicle at Cordele Motor Speedway. We thank each and every one of you for supporting us and allowing us to put on the races. And again, a great job and big thank you again to the Nolan family and the Brooks family for the incredible job that they have done to rejuvenate and revitalize this speedway and make it one of the premier venues and one of the premier racing facilities in the country. And being able to put on some great shows, and the pits have been packed week in and week out. And especially here tonight with a great field of pro late model race cars getting ready to go. So the first couple drivers look like they are just about strapped in and ready to go. And we should be about a minute or two away from rolling out our first car for their qualifying session. So again, want to welcome everybody that's watching live right now on racingamerica.tv and everybody joining in on their social media pages. Again, a hot one here in Cordele Motor Speedway. Our fans trying to beat the heat and enjoy it. Yep, you are live right now. Say hi, wave at you. Yeah, give them a wave. That's you. You're live. You're live to the masses. Hope everybody enjoys it. We're going to enjoy our summer break coming up here, but we can't wait to get back to racing action. There's some awesome races coming up later this year at Cordele Motor Speedway. We're really looking forward to being a part of that and putting on some great races. Again, the World Crown 300 coming up October 25th and 26th. Just announced $35,000 to win that one. One of the big crown jewel events in super late model racing coming here to Cordele Motor Speedway for the very first time. It'll be the 32nd edition of that race. See what driver is going to join the ranks and join the legendary names that have been World Crown champions. But tonight we're going to find out who's going to be our pro late model winner. We had a pro late model race earlier this year in March, and it was quite a battle. Augie Grill took home the victory in March. Augie not here tonight, so we're going to have a new winner. And Augie came in as our points leader, and both our first and second place in our point standings. Neither of those cars are here tonight. So this is really going to change things and flip things around in our late model standings. Stuart Dutton, who came in third in our point standings, both he, Cale Hall, are both here tonight. Luke Yarborough also in the house as well. So those are going to be the three drivers that will likely come out of here. One of those three will likely be our points leader at the end of tonight, depending on where they finish up in our feature. Just waiting to get the okay signal as we want to wait. We've got to get all of the cars through pre-qualifying tech. We got 3 more cars that still need to roll over the scales. And once we get them through and make sure that everybody is good to go to get qualifying started, we'll roll our first couple cars out. We have 21 cars on property. 20 cars are going to take time. We have 1 car that has opted to skip qualifying and has elected to start scratch and start at the tail end of the field. So we're going to have 20 cars that are going to take time. We'll introduce you to them as they come out onto the speedway. There's a live look right now down in our tech area. Seth Christensen in the 45 is looking to go through tech right now. Had a good run earlier this year at Speedfest here at Cordele, a 4th place finish. And he was a winner earlier this year in the Rogers Dabbs Performance Pro Late Model Challenge Series at Five Flags. Brought it home 10th in our Pro Late Model event back here at Cordele back in March. So Seth going to try to put together a good run tonight as he gets ready to work his way through the tech area and through the scales. See, looks like Anthony Cataldi and the Jet Motorsports team lined up behind him. Cataldi, a winner earlier this year with the UARA Sportsman Series, making his first pro late model start in our Pro Late Model 100 tonight this season. And behind him, a driver that has gotten really familiar with this facility, that is Jet Noland, making his first pro late model start of our regular season. And Jet was fastest earlier in practice, so he's going to be the last car to roll out for qualifying. And it looks like they had to roll the number 12 of Travis Rowland. He may have had an issue, and he's got to roll back over the scales again. So it looks like we got 4 cars that are still rolling through tech. Busy place down in the pit area as Ricky Brooks overseeing everything. A great job by his crew and his team as they travel all around the country, but this has become their home track and home base here in Cordele, Georgia, along with the Nolan family. And their work has not gone unrecognized. They've done some incredible upgrades, painted up some areas, fixed up the all-new lighting system, brand new sound system here, one of the best sound systems I've ever heard at a racetrack. And again, I mentioned it before, the absolute cleanest bathrooms I've ever seen at a racetrack. So be sure if you're using the restroom, we help try to keep it that way. And if you see some of the employees around that are helping you out, not only in the concession stand, but are helping pick up the place, thank them for doing all that they can do to give you guys one of the cleanest and nicest racing facilities in the country to come to and enjoy racing on a Saturday night. So big thing for the drivers today with how hot and humid it was all afternoon. Hydration is going to certainly be key. So you'll see drivers that are pounding waters and Gatorades to make sure that they stay hydrated for what's going to be a 100-lap feature. But they've got to go out there and try to put down the fastest 2 laps or the fastest lap they can, try to get a good starting position. We'll have see what our inversion is going to be as well. We'll have a die roll coming up in just a bit. And once we find out what the inversion is, we'll pass that information on to you. As again, we're just getting ready to roll our final few cars through the tech area. Once all cars have cleared pre-qualifying tech, we will get ready to roll out our first car onto the track. All right, so the Jet Nolan machine has made it through tech. One final car to roll over the scales is the number 12 of Travis Rowland. And once Travis has cleared tech, as Travis climbs in the car to step on the scales, once we're all set there, Travis will tag up in his spot on the starting grid, and we will get ready to roll our first couple cars out onto the speedway. All right, so it looks like the 12 of Travis Rowland has made it through. Apparently he had some issues in practice had a shock issue, so it looks like they have gotten that problem resolved, or at least they're trying to. And they're going to try to figure out where he can get, because originally he was going to qualify second, but I believe they're going to change his order from where he was supposed to go out. So everybody has made it through pre-qualifying tech. And that means we are set and ready to go for qualifying for our Pro Late Model 100. A couple of vehicles making their way over the crossover gate, over the back straightaway. And once we are all clear, we're going to roll our first car. So the drivers here will get a dead lap or a warm-up lap, and then they will come by and take the green flag, followed then by the white flag and the checkered flag. As we get ready to roll out our first car, this is the number 34 machine, driver out of Sefner, Florida. This is LJ Grimm. LJ Grimm, bit of a Swiss Army knife when it comes to racing. He's former winner of the Eddie Brand Memorial back in 2013 for the Florida Modifieds. He was the runner-up in the point standings for the Southern Sprint Car Series in 2021, in which he's got 4 career wins in that series. Also picked up a win back in 2018 at Citrus County Speedway in the UARA Sportsman Series. So this is LJ Grimm getting an opportunity to drive the number 34 car tonight in Pro Late Models, making one of his first Pro Late Model starts. And LJ comes by. First lap time he'll put down is a lap time of 16.789, 16.789 for the Seffner, Florida driver. As Grimm brings it through turns 3 and 4, the Travis Rowland Motorsports. Lands used trucking number 34, going to slow down just a little bit on that final lap with a lap of 16.861, so it'll be his first lap. 16.789 is going to be his lap of record. So we'll see what LJ is able to do. A little bit slower in practice earlier today than he would have hoped for. Next car getting ready to roll out, and I can hear the engine firing and starting to roll. This is a driver out of Cumming, Georgia. This is going to be Harrison Halder of the Halder boys. Getting ready to head out. Finished 9th earlier this year in Speedfest, his best finish in 3 career starts in the Speedfest Pro Late Model division, or the Speedfest Pro Late Model race. Ran earlier this year in the Baby Rattler over at South Alabama Speedway. Going to look to try to improve on that. A 23rd place finisher back in March at South Alabama was Harrison Halder here in this number 20 car. We'll see what he can do in Pro Late Model action tonight here at Cordele. Coming by to see the green flag. Get his qualifying session underway. Time to beat currently a 16.789, held by the 34 of LJ Grimm. As Halder brings it through turns 3 and 4, right down to the inside pit wall, coming out of 3 and 4. First lap time is going to be 16.754. 16.754 as Harrison Halder will go to first. 35/100ths of a second quicker than Grimm. And we'll see if Halder is able to pick up. Got it right down there on the very bottom of the racetrack. And Halder even faster with a lap of 16.711. 16.711 goes the number 20 of Harrison Halder, as he is now the time to beat. Coming up next, young driver you may not have seen a whole lot here in the state of Georgia, but really starting to make a name for himself down in Florida, out of Lutz, Florida. This is the number 61 of Colton Bettis. They call him the Bolt. He is the 2024 Dave Steele Wing Championship race winner at Showtime Speedway. This is a young driver that has had some great success in winged and non-wing sprint cars, just starting to kind of get his taste into Pro Late Model and Super Late Model competition this year. Bettis is a 3-time winner on the Southern Sprint Car Series, including 2 wins this season, and is the current points leader. He is the youngest driver in the world to win an asphalt sprint car championship. He won the 2021 non-wing championship at Showtime Speedway, and he's the current points leader in the Pro Late Model division at Auburndale Speedway with 2 wins in 3 starts. Bettis comes by his first lap time, 16.888. He's going to have some work to do. Currently 3rd out of the 3 cars that have taken time. As Bettis comes by the start-finish line, he'll pick up to a 16.854, but is going to remain 3rd quick out of the 3 cars that have taken time so far. Next up, going to have the number 16 machine of David Hodges Jr. coming out on the speedway. Driver out of Jasper, Florida. Former Pro Late Model champion in the Viper Pro Late Model Series back in 2008. Finished 14th earlier this year in the Pro Late Model 100, held back here at Cordele in March. And we'll see what David Hodges Jr. can put down as he comes by to see the green flag and get his qualifying session underway. Everybody chasing the 20 of Harrison Halder with a lap time of a lap time of 16.711 for the 20 of Harrison Halder. Here comes David Hodges Jr. His first lap time, 16.894, will be 4th quick. Driver out of North Florida, the Jasper, Florida native, comes to the start-finish line, sees the checkered flag, and is going to slow down to a 16.954. So Hodges not going to be too pleased with that qualifying effort, as he is the slowest out of the 4 cars that have taken time so far. As we get ready to roll our next competitor, as Hodges will slow down and make his way down to the pit area and see what kind of adjustments they can make on that 16 car for the 100 lapper. On the back straightaway, getting a little heat in the tires. Driver out of Mobile, Alabama. This is the number 82 with Grant Thompson behind the wheel. Young driver with a bright future, and having some good success here in Pro Late Models back in 2022. He was the Lee Fields Memorial winner. Finished 6th earlier this year in the Baby Rattler, and a 10th place finish earlier this year at Speedfest here at Cordele. As Grant Thompson comes by to see the green flag, get his qualifying session underway. Here, Grant down on the chip, down on the rev limiter, heading down into turns 1 and 2. Remember, not really a back stretch or back straightaway here, more like a back stretch, because Cordele Motor Speedway kind of is D-shaped, and no back stretch wall. And let's see what Thompson can do. Pretty good first lap. He's going to go second quick. First lap time of 16.746, 35 hundredths of a second off of the quick time set by Harrison Halder. Thompson digging out of turn number 4, and he is going to go quicker, but he's going to remain second quick with a lap time of 16.735. 16.735, 24 hundredths of a second off of the number 20 of Harrison Halder. As we get ready to roll our next car, driver out of Tifton, Georgia. 4th place finisher back at the 29 Speedfest Pro Late Model race, and this is his first Pro Late Model start of the year here at Cordele, Georgia, out of Tifton, Georgia. This is Blaze Rutherford. Rutherford coming by on his dead lap, getting up to speed. You'll see the green flag next time by. Very good looking race car there, the 5 of Blaze Rutherford. Comes by and will get his qualifying session underway. Still a lot of really fast cars still to come. Some of the best Pro Late Model drivers in the Southeast competing with us here tonight for $6,000 at Cordele Motor Speedway. Blaze Rutherford going to try to knock the number 20 of Harrison Halder off the top of the speed chart. And first lap time by, he will do that. 16.679 goes the 5R of Blaze Rutherford, 32 hundredths of a second quicker than Harrison Halder. So Halder held that top spot for a few cars, but Blaze Rutherford here on lap number 2 going to slow down just a little bit, 16.730, but that's 16.679, the new mark to beat. Peeling out and heading out onto the speedway. We're going to have 2 number 5s tonight. This is going to be the 5M out of McDonough, Georgia, the 5M of Scott Mosley. Mosley in the 5M, a 17th place finish earlier this year in his Pro Late Model during Speedfest. See what lap time Mosley can put down. Mosley having a little trouble down there in 3 and 4. And going to get his first lap started. We'll see what that does. You know, with these Pro Late Model cars, very momentum-based. And we'll see what he can do here. Much better job this time through 3 and 4. We'll see how it affects his speed at the line. Pretty good, actually. Second quick, 16.705, 16.705, 26 hundredths off of the 5R of Blaze Rutherford. We'll see with a smoother second lap here what that does to the speed. Coming to the start-finish line, checkered flag is out, and there goes Mosley to the top of the board. 16.660 goes the 5M of Scott Mosley, 19 hundredths of a second faster than the 5R of Blaze Rutherford. So far, your top 4 all within a 1/10 of a second of each other, but still a long way to go. Just 7 cars of 20 have taken time. As our next competitor heads out on the speedway, driver out of Central Florida, Brooksville, Florida to be exact. He was the 2013 Florida United Promoters Super Late Model Champion, three-time winner last year in the UARA Sportsman Series, and finished third in their point standings. This is the number 33 of Daniel Webster. In the Webster Race Cars Right Foot Down Motorsports Fury number 33, as Webster comes by to see the green flag get his first qualifying lap started. Webster not too happy with that car earlier in practice. 12th fastest out of the 21 cars that practice earlier this afternoon. Webster coming out of turns 3 and 4. He goes to the top of the board, 16.614 for the 33 of Daniel Webster. Webster not doing a ton of sportsman racing this year, been focusing more on the super late model and pro late model driving for himself, as well as preparing race cars for several drivers in several different classes of car. And Webster going to be the first driver to get into the 16.5 range with a 16.586. That will be the time to beat so far. Good pickup there and a good lap put down by the 33 of Daniel Webster. Up next on the Speedway, driver out of Milton, Georgia. This is going to be the number 71 of Luke Yarborough. Luke got a win earlier this year in a Legends car, and on that same night jumped in this Pro Late Model and picked up a top 5 finish, a 5th place finish in our Pro Late Model 100 at the end of March. Luke finished 12th earlier this year at Speedfest in this Pro Late Model. So we're going to try to put together a good run like he did back in March. Yarborough, a young driver with a bright future. Works his way through turns 3 and 4. Brings his Ford across the start-finish line, and the first lap time for Yarborough is going to be second quick, 16.587. 16.587, 1/1000th of a second off the pace of Daniel Webster. Yarborough brings it out of 3 and 4. Can he go quicker? Yes, he can. 16.526 goes to 71 of Luke Yarborough, and he's to the top of the board. 60 hundredths of a second faster than the 33 of Daniel Webster. So Yarborough now with the time to beat, as we are just about halfway through our qualifying session. Still some very, very fast cars still to come. And here's a driver out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, currently 12th in the Nashville Fairgrounds Pro Late Model point standings. This is the number 38 of Boston Oliver. Boston Oliver in the 38. Oliver comes by to see the green flag, get his qualifying session underway. All the way up to the top of the racetrack, down the back stretch. Dives down into 3 and 4. See how close he can get it to the inside wall. A little bit of a wider arc coming out of the corner. And for Oliver, pretty good lap. Second quick, 16.568. 42 hundredths of a second off the time put down by Luke Yarborough. And at the start-finish line, Oliver will actually slow down about a 10th to a 16.637. So Oliver unable to pick up on his second lap. So Oliver will settle for second, and he'll have to see how the remaining 10 cars fare to see if Oliver is able to get a decent starting spot. But so far, Luke Yarborough, your quick time. Boston Oliver, second quick. Daniel Webster is third fastest. Scott Mosley is fourth, and Blaze Rutherford rounds out your top 5. Next car headed out on the Speedway, driver out of Enterprise, Alabama. He is the current Outlaw Late Model points leader here at Cordele with 2 wins and 4 starts on the season. Finishes of 12th and 15th in 2 previous Speedfest events here at Cordele. And a 16th place finish back at the 2021 Baby Rattler. But for Spencer Bragg, he's been having a great year in the Outlaws division here at Cordele. As I said, picking up 2 feature victories and comes in as the points leader. No outlaw race tonight, so they're focusing on the Pro Late Model. And let's see what kind of lap Spencer Bragg can put down. Bragg brings it out of turn number 4. First lap time coming by the line. And Bragg is going to go 6th quick, 16.692. So Spencer will have to try to find some more speed on lap 2, as Bragg is a little more than a 1/10 off the pace of Luke Yarborough. And at the line, nice pickup. He'll go 4th quick, 16.643, 16.643 for the 08 of Spencer Bragg. With 11 cars to have taken time. Another driver that's competing with him in the Outlaws division here at Cordele Motor Speedway, driver out of Tallahassee, Florida. Finished 3rd earlier this year in our March Pro Late Model 100. And a good chance to come out of here with the points lead tonight in our Pro Late Model division if he's able to put together a good run. This is the 32D of Stuart Dutton. Finished 8th earlier this year in the UARA Sportsman Series here at Cordele. He drove one of the right foot down motorsports cars for Daniel Webster. He's got 1 win this year in 2 Outlaw late model starts. Currently 7th in the point standings is Stuart Dutton. And Stuart put together a pretty good race back here in March. His Jet Motorsports number 32 be teammates tonight along with the number 9 of Anthony Cataldi. Dutton getting up to speed that first time by on his dead lap, getting ready to come by to put down his first lap of record. And that Jet Motorsports number 32 hits the line, and he has got some work to do. 10th quick, 16.792 for Stuart Dutton. And he's got to be scratching his head a little bit there, as he was much faster than that in practice. Let's see if lap number 2 is better. And just a little bit better. 9th quick, 16.765, 16.765. So Stuart Dutton and his crew a little bit off that time in their qualifying session, and they're going to have to hope that several drivers struggle a little bit, and hopefully they can get some luck with a redraw potentially. But coming out onto the track now, driver out of Griffin, Georgia, in the number 62. This is Cale Hall. 7th earlier this year at Speedfest in the Pro Late Model. He's got 3 top 10s in 3 starts, with his best finish back in 2023. Finished 4th earlier this year in our Pro Late Model 100 back here in March. And for Hall, riding a different car this time than what he had back in March. And let's see what kind of lap Cale Hall can put down as Hall gets up to speed halfway through his first lap. Down the backstretch and arcs it down into 3, right down against the inside retaining wall right there that separates pit road. And Cale Hall to the top of the board, 16.475 goes to 62. As Cale Hall, can he pick it up even more on lap 2? He brings that white and black 62 off the corner and to the line. Cale Hall will slow down just a little bit to a 16.569, but that's 16.475, the new time to beat. 51/100ths of a second quicker than the 71 of Luke Yarborough. Making his way out onto the speedway, driver out of Lynn Haven, Florida. He was the winner of the 2024 Baby Rattler Pro Late Model Race, runner-up the following night, or that same night there rather, if the Rattler 250. Winner this year at Montgomery in the Show Me the Money race number 3, and he's the current points leader of the Show Me the Money series. Winner earlier this year at Talladega in the ARCA Menards series. A winner last season at Dover in the ARCA East series. Was in competition last night at Five Flags Speedway in a super late model where he brought it home 21st, driving the Ronnie Sanders number 18, powered by Phoenix Construction. This, of course, is Jake Finch. Finch, one of the rising young talents in all of stock car racing here in the Southeast, particularly having some great runs in this Ronnie Sanders powered number 18 machine this year, including that win earlier at the Rattler. And let's see what he can do here on his first lap, and he's going to have some work to do. Jake Finch, 17.023, the slowest, as he gets ready to come by, trying to get up to speed. And at the line, Jake Finch, good pickup on that one. Lap 2 goes all the way to second quick. What a pickup. 16.480 for Jake Finch, all the way from 13th to 2nd on that lap. Impressive pickup by the 18 of Finch. Driver out of Central Florida, Plant City, Florida to be exact. Super late model winner earlier this month at Cordele Speedway. Finished 5th in this year's Baby Rattler and 6th in the Rattler 250. An 8th place finish earlier this year in our Pro Late Model 100 back in March. This, of course, is Colin Allman in the race car engineering number 67. Allman, a winner of one of the Twin 50 features at Cordele Speedway earlier this month. Runs this Pro Late Model car a lot over in Pensacola and has been coming up and supporting us here at Cordele so far this year. And lap number 1 for the 67 of Colin Allman is going to be 7th quick with a lap time of 16.647, 16.647 for the white and red 67 of Colin Allman coming by to complete lap number 2. Allman to the line. He's going to go 4th quick. 16.529, 16.529 for Colin Allman as we are down now to our final 5 qualifiers. A driver that showed some great speed earlier today in practice out of Woodstock, Georgia. This is Brandon Lopez, a 16th place finish earlier this year at Speedfest. A 10th place finish earlier this year at the Red Eye Pro Late Model event at New Smyrna. Was 9th this year in the World Series for the Pro Late Model Series. And a 9th place finish in the Georgia Spring Nationals Pro Late Model 100 that we had back here in March. Brandon Lopez, again, looked very, very good in practice earlier today. 4th quick on the speed charts earlier. Let's see if it can translate to qualifying as Lopez brings it down the backstretch. Chasing the lap time of Cale Hall with a 16.475. White flag is out, and for Lopez, he's going to go 8th quick, 16.643. About a 10th and a half off the quick time laid down by the 62 of Cale Hall. Can Lopez pick it up on lap 2? To the line goes the 6 of Lopez, and that's where he will go. He'll bump up to 6th, 16.585, 16.585. Goes the number 6 of Brandon Lopez. Warming up the tires, getting a little heat in them, is a driver out of Pendergrass, Georgia. 4th earlier this year at Speedfest in the Pro Late Model Division. And a Pro Late Model winner in the Rogers Dad Performance Pro Late Model Challenge at 5 Flags. A finish of 10th earlier this year at Cordele in our Pro Late Model 100. This is Seth Christensen. Seth Christensen out of Pendergrass, Georgia. Again, taking advantage of this dead lap here and getting as much heat in the tires and trying to clean them off the best he can. Christensen getting up to speed. Christensen getting some help and some backing from Ricky Turner. And getting that 45 up and going and coming by to get his lap underway. Another one of the young talents down here in the Southeast to keep an eye on is this driver behind the wheel of the 45. Christensen coming by the start-finish line, lap number 1. And he's going to have some work to do. 10th quick out of 17 with a lap time of 16.668. Goes the 45 of Seth Christensen. Going to try to pick it up some on lap number 2. And he's going to go quick time, 16.435. Seth Christensen to the top of the board. And, man, did he pick up on that second lap. He went for it and got it all. But he's got some great competition to try to hold off, including this car. The Jet Motorsports number 9 driver out of Umatilla, Florida. This is the number 9 of Anthony Cataldi, a two-time winner on the UARA Sportsman Series, including earlier this year at South Alabama Speedway during Rattler weekend. Cataldi been teaming up with the Jet Motorsports team here over the course of the last couple of seasons and getting an opportunity here tonight to wield drive one of the fastest Pro Late models in the country. This car is always prepared and typically qualifies up near the front and normally runs up front, and Cataldi is a good wheelman. Coming out of turn number 4, first lap time for Cataldi. He'll go 9th quick, 16.604. Gonna have to pick it up about a 10th and a half to get Christensen's 16.435. And at the line, not able to pick up, actually slows down. So Cataldi with a 16.680, a little bit off their pace they had earlier in practice. As we're down to our final two qualifiers. Remember, the 12 of Travis Rowland had an issue and had to roll through tech. So he's going to be our final qualifier. But this driver, he was the fastest car in practice earlier here tonight. And a driver that picked up one of his biggest wins of his career last year down at Cletus McFarland's Freedom Factory. He was the winner of the 2023 Bill Bigley Senior Memorial in the UARA Series. He's a former winner of the Red Eye Pro Late Model race. Finished 7th earlier this year at the Rattler 250, where he's got 5 career top 10s in that event. And he was the runner-up earlier this year at the Clyde Hart Memorial out of Groveland, Florida. This is the number 50 of Jet Noland. Noland coming to see the green flag, get his qualifying session underway. And at one point earlier in practice today, he was 0.2 of a second faster than anyone in the field. They were able to kind of tighten it up a little bit closer in practice to where it was about a little bit more than 1/10 of a second. But this 50 car had plenty of speed in it earlier in practice. And so far, 4th quick, 16.509 for the Cohen Law Group, number 50. Got that Fury race car locked and loaded. And brings it through turns 3 and 4. Can Jet Noland knock off the 45 of Seth Christensen? No, he goes second quick. 16.460, 25 hundredths of a second off the mark, put down by the 45 of Christensen. And we now are down to our final qualifier. This is going to be the number 12 out of Lake Alfred, Florida. He was the 2013 FUP Open Wheel Modified Champion. He's a crew chief and setup man for many drivers in the Central Florida area, including late models, sportsmen, and pro trucks. But get behind the wheel of this number 12 car tonight, Travis Rowland, who doesn't get an opportunity to drive as much as he used to. But this is a wheelman right here. The Lands Used Trucking, Travis Rowland Motorsports, number 12. Rowland would have to have a pretty big pickup. He was not very good earlier in practice. Trying to knock off the 45 of Seth Christensen. And the first lap time for Travis Rowland, he is actually the slowest of the 20 cars that have taken time at a lap time of 17.045. So he would have to pick up over a half a second here on this second lap, and he is unable to do so with a lap time of 17.045. So that is going to do it for qualifying for your Pro Late Model 100. Your Fast 5 qualifiers, the 71 of Luke Yarborough is 5th quick. 4th quick, the 18F of Jake Finch. 3rd quick, the 62 of Cale Hall. Jet Noland in the number 50 is 2nd quick. And quick time set by the number 45 of Seth Christensen with a lap time of 16.435. So a great lap there by Christensen and his team. And now they'll wait to see what the redraw for the feature is going to be and what the invert's going to be, as that will conclude.